The following program contains adult language, poor taste in jokes, racial slurs, political slurs, slants, and all sorts of things that if you are sensitive and have a delicate constitution, you should probably go watch Teletubbies. You were warned. I'm the older one, and it's not because I look old, it's because he's that fucking immature. And but anyway, this dude can remember a joke like fucking forget about it, dude. It's just like, oh my god, I'm known as the sarcastic one. Like, no matter what you say, I have a comeback, whereas he's known as the joke guy. And it's like, I'm sitting here trying to remember fucking jokes, right? And I can't. And so I'm sitting here thinking, you know, I live with two little girls and a woman, and my wife, obviously. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know, all my jokes have become G-rated. That's not good. And always tighten your motor bolts in a star pattern, by the way. Okay. But anyway, so now I have to, like, censor myself. And so I asked my 4-year-old daughter, who's actually smarter than me, and I asked her the other day, I said, why are clowns like cannibals?
Well, I don't know why.
They eat funny people. No, wait. Why do cannibals eat clowns? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because they taste funny.
Oh.
You know, it's shit like that. I'm a funny person. That's not a funny joke. You can get kicked out of places for saying shit like that. Anyway.
I do have one for you.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Are you waiting for it?
I'm waiting.
All right, this is actually one very old gentleman told me, actually on, yet again, a pizza delivery, working for the family business, just like meeting you.
Better job than mine.
There we go. So, wonderful joke here. Old perverted gentleman.
All right.
All right.
It's me in like 20 years.
All right. So, it has to do with the Catholics here. You know, me being a Catholic, I really love this. This was perfect.
Perfect.
All right, so obviously the Catholics, they love to go to confession. You know, that is their way to get the sin out.
Best religion ever.
All right, so, you know, lady goes in. She's, you know, there to give her confession. Well, the priest, he has to use the restroom. He's got to get out of there. So he jumps out real quick. The older boy's standing outside. He says, hey, fill in for me while I use the restroom. Okay, so one of the older boys goes in to fill in. The other one's standing out there. Now, forgive me there, kids. Older boy says, ma'am, what is it that you need to confess to me today? The lady says, you know, forgive me, Father, for I have sinned. You know, I unfortunately had, you know, out of marriage relations.
It's probably me.
It probably was. She probably ran into you in that bar. But anyways, decided to go ahead and give the gentleman she was with a blowjob. And she wanted to repent her sins. So the older boy, not sure what to tell her to do. You know, how many Hail Marys do I tell this lady to, you know, say? Sticks his head out and asks the other older boy, you know, hey, what's Father usually give for, you know, a blowjob?
I know where this is going.
Well, you know, the older boy looks at him and says, well, he usually gives a Coke and a cookie.
Ooh.
Oh,
Oh, my goodness. That's just terrible. But
so
true. And it's sad that you know, a couple incidences, or a couple million. You know, and my old man was a Catholic. My old man was in the military too, and you know, it's funny. He was raised. My dad, his parents dropped him. His mother, his dad was a piece of shit, but his mother dropped him off at a Catholic orphanage. Whoa. In the 50s.
Whoa.
Raised by French nuns, and I swear to God Almighty, I'm not making this story up. And so my old man had a pretty rough upbringing. He used to get beat just for looking at him squared, you know. And I used to, my old man's dead, but I used to say to him, I'm like, I think Catholicism is like the best fucking religion ever, Dad. And he was not religious after that, you know. He's like, fuck them nuns. And he looked at me, and my old man was me times 5. And he's like, why do you think that? And I was like, dude, you can go out and sin, and all you have to do is come in, ask forgiveness, and drink wine. I was made for that, right? And he just laughed, you know. And my grandmother, who's probably dead, I don't know if she is, but she was a diehard Catholic, and yeah, she's probably rolling over in her fucking grave. So anyway, what I'm doing now, I had cut my double-sided tape. Get this shit. You've seen this in my reviews before. 3M tape. If you can, get the black back Super Duty, but the gray works just as well. And we have put everything in, and we waterproof the back sides of these, and we put the tape on. And I did the other 3, and this is why we have comic relief, because it's boring watching people solder and put shit on. And then after this, we're going to take a quickie break.
Definitely a good point, though, getting that black. I was at Lowe's the other day and ended up getting both, the gray and the black. And the gray...
The gray's good, but...
Yeah, that black blows it out of the water.
The black's badass, and I'm out of it. And our Lowe's in where we live here, I don't think has it. I mean,
Actually, that's where I got the last roll.
You dick.
Yes. So, if you need some, let me know.
All right, you're a cunt. That's okay. I'm trying to think of jokes. Okay, I got a joke while I'm rearranging my mess up that nobody saw. Let's see. How is a relationship? What's the difference between a relationship and a battery?
I don't know, what?
Battery has a plus side. That's funny shit.
That's funny shit.
Okay, why is a girlfriend like a blender?
I don't know.
You need one, you just don't know why.
Oh!
What's an ex-girlfriend and a slinky have in common?
I'm not sure.
They're both useless, and they put a smile on your face when you push them down the stairs. Bam! I'm telling you, that's funny shit. Anyway, we're done with the ESCs, and I'm going to take a break real quick. We're going to go make another drink, and we'll be right back. So, bam! Hang on. And we're back. Here we go. Now, I realize this is taking forever because we're just having too much fucking fun. You know what? You can always hit pause and buy a ticket, so it's all good.
Hell yeah.
So,
Round 200.
Yeah, round 2, right? So what we're going to do, I put double-sided tape on the back of the ESCs. We did a twist. This one was a little bit long. That was a little bit long. That's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. It's out of the way. We will reinforce this later and waterproof these. Now, usually what I do with these, you saw me tin these ESCs before I put them on. Then I tin the other half after I put them on. Okay, so we got our negative. Let it sit for a second. Oop. I'm using the wrong tip. It's all right. Good enough for the girls we date.
Hey, you'd want to use a wire tip on some of those.
A wire tip? What's that?
A wider.
Wider, yes.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the alcohol.
Yep. I'm going to have this guy shit carded by the time he might be spending the night.
Might be. I hope you got a good comfy couch.
Yeah, you have an amazing comfy couch, actually.
Sweet.
My couch is like the size of a fucking aircraft carrier.
Oh, man.
And I bought it when I was single. What was really funny is people would come over like, what's that couch like? I'm like, dude, I've never used it. I don't know. Before I met my wife, I was just like, all I ever did was play guitar, travel the world, and work out. That's all I ever did. Now I'm fat and happy with a smoking hot wife. That's how you do shit, kids. All right, so I tin these on the bird because why not? It makes more sense. Do you want to use your fucking helping hands all the time, or do you want to have something that's stable to do it?
Makes sense.
That's what I'm saying. All right, so now I think we're ready for what? Pop quiz.
Pop quiz? Okay, what I would do or what you would do?
Well, what I would do would be right. No, we're just kidding around. What's up?
What I would do is I would throw those screws in there. I would mount your flight controller and make sure that she's all conformal code and all that good stuff, at least on the bottom side before you go mounting it.
Exactly right. So, now, where's my vape doohickey thing?
I don't know. I'm amazed because
there it is.
Puffing at all.
Bam! It's because I'm drinking. I'm substituting vices. Now, I really hope my buddy Zebruh FPV is watching this with his guys overseas, and hope you guys, because I know you guys have fuck all for entertainment over there, and this is fucking entertaining. I'm happy. If none of you like it, fuck y'all, because I'm having a good time. So, one of the things about this DYS board that we're putting in, this is a nice fucking FC. This is the DYS F4 Pro, and I have this running in a few of my other birds. And it actually comes with a 4-in-1, well, it doesn't come with, but you can buy the DYS 4-in-1 ESC, and you can plug it in via these pins.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's nice, but it's not.
Right.
Because those pins get in my way if you're using bullet connectors. Now, Blackhawk, we're going to put you on the spot.
Oh.
Some of them went in my drink, but you know what? Iron's good for you.
Absolutely.
While I'm asking him this pop quiz question, make him uncomfortable, I'm going to conformal code this. What are the pros and cons to using a 4-in-1 ESC?
All right. Just from my personal experience with them, I really like the basically the ergonomics of it. Everything is contained in one place. You don't have a lot of stuff on the arms. It looks a lot cleaner. It's a lot nicer of a build. Thing I really don't like about it, which kind of doesn't carry over too much to some of the Racer Stars because they do have the separable ones, but if you blow an ESC, you route that full ESC panel, you have to replace the whole thing.
Right.
Now, the one thing that is nice about the Racer Stars is they do have the option of pulling the one out, replacing it, but still, that's a heck of a pain in the butt compared to replacing a bullet.
Absolutely. And then what he's talking about, I'm looking for nuts. And first I went to Bardwell's house, but I couldn't find any. Fuck me, that's funny. What Blackhawk's talking about is, if you look at this bird, here's one of my Hellbenders, and you notice there's no ESCs on it. That's got a 4-in-1 Racer Star ESC. What he's talking about, what he has, he's a little bit smarter than me. He's got what we call a modular ESC. And the modular ESC is really slick because you can actually, it's in 4 different segments and it's a symmetrical puzzle piece. Yes. So if you blow one, you can buy one replacement for, what is it, like $6 or something?
Absolutely.
And you can fix it. If I blow one of mine, I'm fucked. But I make more money than him, so it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So, there you go. I'm just fucking with you. I went 4-in-1 crazy. I really did. Right before I met you, I went out and bought like 20 4-in-1 ESCs, and I loved them. And honestly, I don't think I've ever blown one. I have blown them up in wrecks. There's a difference. I have not blown one up from overheating or anything like that. They do save space. They're great for that. But yeah, you know, I kind of went back to bullets. Bullets is old school. So back to the build. We're going to take these. I do this differently. Most people will use. Oh, there it is. That's some sticky shit. Hang on. Always have Clorox wipes on your desk. Okay, here we go. Bam! Clean that shit up.
Or if you're a real man, you can use like some shark wipes or some scrubs or something. But
or if you're a real man, you just use a fucking
there you go.
Joshua Bardwell toilet paper. Look at the size of that. I mean, that's a big ass.
All right.
Anyhow, sorry that was uncalled for. Bardwell's mom's watching us like, why are you picking on my boy? Sorry. Standoffs. Most people use nylon standoffs. Now, that's great. I do too, especially on micro builds. Little, but with the big builds, I have this problem because I fly like an idiot, and I crash really fucking hard, and I actually wipe out the nylon standoff sometimes. So if I'm using an all-in-one board, what I will do, I will take long M3 bolts. These are M3s, right?
Yes.
Okay. Drinking, and I will take nylon nuts. I'm sorry. And now, I do recommend use the nylon nuts because they're non-conductive, obviously.
Yep.
I had a socket. Where'd that socket go?
Right here.
Ah, bam. Use a socket. Saves your little fingers. Okay? But these aren't... Oh, there you go. See, that's what happened when you drink, man. You know what's fucked up is... How long have we known each other?
It's been about 4 or 5 months now.
Yeah, 4 or 5 months. Every quad I've built, I'm pretty sure I haven't been sober. Now, to get me drunk takes a lot of fucking money. And some of you out there, Quad Father and Explicit FPV, you guys owe me a drink. But anyway, I like to relax, and I start drinking at about 4 o'clock if I can. And I build all my quads that way, and it's like, fuck me. It's amazing the bastards fly. It really is. But Zebruh FPV's looking, it's like, man, I'm going to sell this motherfucker on eBay, man. This JJ Rotor Geek shit ain't no good. Fuck it. Trust me, kids. This is going to be, to quote one of my favorite movies, when we get done with this man, every dickhead in the world is going to want it.
What movie is that off of?
That is off of Beyond the Law. Awesome motorcycle movie. So, with the DYS F4 Pro, it comes with 2 full sets of little rubber grommets. Now, never use the rubber with a hole in the middle, unless it's for your flight controller. That's That's some funny shit right
That's
there.
some
I
good
should
shit.
write that down. Okay, so
Some real advice there.
that is some
life
good shit
advice.
right there. Yeah, says the guy with 3 kids. Stick it in. Give it a little bit of a pinch. Stick it in with your thumbnail, and pull it through. Bam! Look at that. Woo! Easier than a Catholic girl. Look at that. Okay, so. And this shit just comes out, guys. This is censored, believe it or not. This is.
I can attest to that.
You know, Blackhawk and I'll go out flying, and, you know, I'm the veteran, right? Because I've been doing it for 3 years, and he's been doing it for a lot less. But I'm terrible. He's a better pilot than I am. And it's funny. I'll take some quad up in the air, and I'll go full speed because that's all I do. And I'll crash like a motherfucker, and I don't even have a reaction. I don't even look up, dude. I like take off my goggles like I'm all fucking pro, and I'm like, landings for pussies. Like I meant to do that. Okay. It's true. It fucking seriously is. We need to have one of our old ladies go out there and film us flying, because it's like, it's the best fun you'll have with your pants up.
We really do.
It is fun. We need to do it more. So, all right, we got our rubber grommets in. Bam. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slide these little guys over here. Oh, look at that. That bolt there is not long enough. Either is that one. That's okay. I'm going to fix that after the build. I had to cut those 2 screws because I ran out. I'm going to fix that later because I just don't want this to run that long. 2's enough for now.
So good little heads up there, guys. Make sure you have everything you need for the build before getting underway.
And I have a fuck ton. And we can use some nylons. I've got nylons.
Yeah.
I've got a fuck ton of these things, but I did run out of my big ones, so it's okay. I will fix this before I send it out to Zebruh. But anyway, there you go. That's a beautiful thing. So now what we're going to do, we're going to tin the flight controller itself. What do we need to tin?
What do you need to tin?
Yes, I didn't
well, you
stutter.
need heat and you need solder.
No, dumbass. Fucking hell. This fucking video better go viral. Is all I got to say. Yeah. No, I mean, as far as pads go, what needs to go?
As far as what do you want to tin?
Yeah. Do you need to tin every fucking little thing?
No, you need to tin everything you're going to use. That's for damn sure.
That's what you say when you're drinking and you're on TV. Okay? All right, so what we're doing with the DYS, make sure we're still in shot. I'm going to zoom in a little bit on this. DYS, you've got positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. These are your ESC power. And then you've got your signals, all right? Do you, in your experience, Blackhawk, use the negative signal of your negative side of your signal?
Oh, no. Really, the biggest thing with the ESC is you need your signal wire. Negative is not as necessary as the signal itself. So to cut down on more wires, more possibility for interference, more things go wrong, et cetera, it's just as kosher to leave those negatives off.
Right. And one of the things to consider, people, I've seen it on a lot of forums where it's like, why don't I use the ground of my ESC? Mm-hmm. And the reason is, you're more susceptible. I'm doing the positive and negative 5 volts here. You're more susceptible to get ground loop interference when you're using the ground wires of your signals. And a couple of my buddies, and forgive me because I've got some sailors in me, I can't remember who it was, asked me, it's like, he had, I think it was Primo, my buddy Primo. Shout out to you, brother. But man, he solders like a monkey throwing poo.
Oh,
just like Ian does, like Blackhawk does.
All right.
And I love you, Primo. You're my brother. But damn, you need to come over to Camp Jason for a week.
Hey, it helps.
Yeah, it does. But anyway, I told him to take he had his grounds and he had all sorts of stuff. Take them grounds off. You don't need that shit. So the next thing we're going to do, when you order the 28 amp ESCs off of GearBest or Banggood, you get a fuck ton of extra wires. Okay? Look at that. Bam. That's a lot of fucking, that's like a fucking haystack. Look at that shit. So You don't need all these, but it's cool to save them. So what I'm going to do, you want to re-tin. Why?
The biggest reason for re-tinning, and I actually, thankfully, Jason, learned this from you, is the solder that is used, especially when you're using, some stuff that is from the factory. They use the rosinless, the lead-free, lead-free solder.
Very good.
And the lead-free solder does not like to hold, we'll say, as well as some of the other leaded.
Right.
It's not as strong of a joint. I've actually broken those, and not only that, but it's not as clean.
That is true. Lead-free solder is only used in machinery soldering, or what we call wave soldering tables. And that's a industry standard thing. And but anyway, unless you're using it in a heat oven or something like that, like a brazing method, I'm saying this drunk. That's pretty fucking good, right? You do not want to use lead-free solder, kids. That shit's a bag of ass. It's for a bunch of pinko EPA. You're gonna ruin the environment. Fuck you in the environment. It's not gonna ruin the environment. But what you want to do. And I'm going to try to pull this into shot here. See the mess this is driving Blackhawk nuts.
I'm over here really
he's like, how do you work in this fucking mess, right? And I'm like, dude, how else would you do it?
That's why I'm drinking this liquor faster than you.
Right. He's drinking more than me, but I started earlier than him. What you want to do, you don't have to cut it. But what you want to do is you want to blend what we call blend the alloys. Okay? Now, I'm going to be cutting these anyway, so I'm not even going to worry about it. So, what we're going to do, Blackhawk's going to talk to you, and I'm going to re-tin one end of each of these. And he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Oh, this is trouble.
Yeah. We're getting him out of his shell, guys. You hear me talk about Blackhawk all the time. He is literally the only guy I physically fly with or have ever flown with. I have never, ever, ever flown with another guy until I met him. And I've been flying for 3 years, and we met, 4 months ago.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of friends online that are their buddies, like Quadcopter and those cats, and Explicit, Chris. But they're internet buddies. You know, they live out on the East Coast or down in Louisiana. And Ian's my bro, and once he gets married, his old lady kick his ass out anyway. So he'll be over here a lot.
Hell yeah. We have to do the bachelor's thing together.
Right.
We have FPV bachelors.
Yeah, which we're so married, it's like, we're doormats, but and rightly so. If you find a good woman, guys, it's like a good bird.
Yeah.
Stick with it. It's worth it.
Absolutely.
Anyway, so he's going to talk, and I'm going to solder up the negative side of all the power inputs of these ESCs.
All right. One thing that I actually noticed there, Jay, when we came back out and started back up here after the upload, the conformal coat had dried, and it gave kind of that purplish tint to the ESCs and also the bird itself where you had applied it.
Yes.
Very cool, and actually never thought of checking for that
UV light.
Yes, absolutely, UV light. I carry one from HVAC, but a lot of I know, right?
Some dude, one of my buddies on here, and I'm fucking terrible with names, and all of you are my friends. You really are. I've got 350 subscribers or something like that, and I try to talk to every one of you because it's just damn good fun. But one of the guys I talked to, he said, do you have an IR gun so you can see how hot your micro quad motors are? And I'm like, yeah, dude, I stick it on my wife's dog's ass, and if it burns it, it's too hot. And,
a true Jasonified
yeah,
response.
It's just like, I'm like the most high-tech person you'll probably ever meet in your life, but oddly enough, I don't fucking care.
That's what's amazed me with you ever since we met. I mean, you are this robo, you've got the rear arm to a Ford Ranger that's not even out yet. You're building a robot cell to. And right. I come over here and, like you said, you're the most technical person I've ever met.
Right.
But man, you make it work.
That's what makes it fun.
Hell yeah.
It's like, and a guy, my buddy, asked me today, we're texting, and he's like, if you don't mind me asking, how old are you? And this is funny, and bro, I love you, and this is you when you hear this. And I'm driving in my car, and because I'm coming back from Takumi Stamping, which is a Japanese transplant customer of mine in Cincinnati. And he's like, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking? And I said, I'm 42, going to be 43 way too fucking soon. And he goes, oh, whew, I'm so glad I'm 28. And I thought I was doing shit wrong because you've traveled all over the world and you've done all this other shit. And I'm glad you're not 30, because then I'd feel like a dickhead. And I said, yeah, but I started traveling internationally with the second largest robotics corporation in the world when I was 20. So you're still kind of fucked. And he's like, mother. And he sent the funniest little thing. He sent a smiley face with a gun to its head. I was just like, and I told him, I said, no, I'm the exception to the rule sometimes. I said, you're on the right track, brother. He's in school for Cisco training for networks, and I attract network guys. And I always tease, and my buddy Nick in Serbia is a network guy. And I think network guys are just like, home ec computers. Now, I deal with the most high-tech shit in the world sometimes, and with my job, and I like teasing network guys, because I'm a computer guy. It's like, whatever, go bake in your Easy Bake fucking microwave, But no, seriously, I have a son that's 23. Okay. I have a daughter that's 4, and a daughter that's 1. That's fucked up. And, I told my son all the time, I said, go into computers. Any type of technology, that's where it's at. That it fucking is. Go into necessities. Like Blackhawk, he's into HVAC. Everybody needs heating and air conditioning. Fucking everybody. You need food, be a grocer.
Yep.
Funerals, everybody dies.
Hell yeah.
Own a funeral home, that's a whole other rant. And technology. The days of all the other shit's going away. But anyway, that's a whole other story. So anyway, I'm going to keep soldering these. So now what we're going to do, we have soldered the positive and negatives on to the ESCs, and now we're going to go to the positive and negatives of the board, okay? Because this is an all-in-one board. So while I'm doing that, what I usually do is I try to get a couple twists. Now, the twists aren't really for noise reduction. I have to admit, in my vanity, it's more for looks. It kind of keeps everything looking neat. Give yourself it's better to have too much and cut again, kids, than cut it too short and be like, fuck, I have to patch that. That sucks. And I've done it a billion times. Anybody who says they're a Bardwell and never's fucked up is lying.
Hell yes. We're all human.
It's like when I used to teach robotics class. People used to say, I would, here I am, every day in front of all these people I don't even know. And I would say, and I've given lectures at universities, I've done all this stuff with industrial automation. And guys, I hate to break it to you, on YouTube, this is pretty much how I am in real life.
Yeah.
Now, obviously in a professional situation, I have a little bit more candor, but once I know the guy, fuck, dude. If we got to lunch, that dude just learned a whole lot of shit. But anyway, I would always tell my people in my classes, my programming classes, I would say, there's only 2 people in the world, and now I'm teaching people how to program robots. There's only 2 people in the world that have never crashed a robot. People that are lying and really have crashed a robot, and people that have never programmed a robot. Bam! There you go. Anyway, so what I've done is I've stripped all these wires, and then I'm going to tin them. What we want to do is you saw this in my soldering video maybe, you want to twist it. Twist the wires if you can. It's not a necessity, but it's a good fucking idea. And the reason is why?
Reason is because if you get one of those little individual tiny strands across one of your pads,
bad things will happen.
You are fucked. You
are fucked. And not in a good way.
No.
Not that whole sexy, oh fuck, she's finally putting out way, and that, oh man, smoke came out way.
Hell yes.
And the other reason is thermodynamically. When you have oxygen inside of a weld, when you're doing molten metal, you get what's called porosity. And porosity, hang on, pizza. And we're back. Sorry, we had to have a pizza break because we're fat and old. So, I think Blackhawk, you need to show him your drink. Show him the drink. Hey. Show him the Roto Twister.
Fine.
Look at that shit. Bam. I've been drinking since 3, and it's like 7 p.m. That's his second drink. So, get on his ass.
Let's go.
All right, so here we go. He's going to talk, and I am going to solder our power leads to the flight controller, okay? I'll try to zoom in on this a little bit. It's really not that necessary to see this, but whatever. So, go ahead.
All right. So you're doing the little twist there. I already spoke about that.
Right. Now, one thing you do want to make sure of.
Yep.
The solder from your tight side. Oh, that didn't work. Tight side in. Give yourself some room.
Yeah. Definitely do a little forward thinking on that. Don't fight against yourself. It just makes things harder in the long run.
Yes. And every flight controller is different.
What I
Like Omnibus F3, I have memorized. I mean, I can literally, you guys can text me. I'll be like, do this, this, and this. DYS F4, not as much. You know, I've only got a couple of them in.
Now, something I like to do, and I noticed you didn't do here, and I know because you